This is me.
Just kidding. This is me.
My name is Amanda, and welcome to my podcast where I will be talking about pop culture, music, film, drama, and fan videos.
Hello, and welcome back to the Always Popular podcast. My name is Amanda, and I am going to be introducing all the segments of what I will be talking about on my podcast and or YouTube channel. So, for the first one, I'm going to introduce is actually the fall series where I will be talking about all new things that will be coming out new this year, whether if it's music, film, TV shows, and also podcasts as well. And then for the second series I'm going to be talking about is actually the past music that I grew up to, but the actual title is called 90s versus Now. And then also something I would like to elaborate on is also different music nationalities and something that I call the UK debates between girl bands, boy bands of past and present. So I would be very excited to introduce that as well. And then for the third series, or actually the fourth series that I would like to talk about is called the Underrated series, where I would like to talk about certain public figures or people in music and film who I feel like who are truly underrated. So I would like to dedicate a series people like that I think are underappreciated, that deserve more recognition or maybe appreciation for their talents, rather than other people who I feel like who probably don't deserve as much attention or recognition as other people. But I'll leave it at that. And then following that theme and or segment, I have something called the good side of everything, where the media tends to talk about bad things or maybe wants to paint a certain person in like the wrong light, and they like to talk about like the negatives about this public figure or actor or maybe singer. And so this theme and or segment is about everything good that this person has done, either whether they're in the spotlight or even behind the scenes. So that's going to be like a favorite of mine that I would like to do as well. And then following that, I do have another theme that's called love hate relationships, of why certain people love and or hate a certain public figure and or TV host, or really anyone like in general. So I think that's going to be really interesting to have on my channel and or podcast as well. And then also I like to talk about 10 or 15, maybe 20 year anniversaries. So I will also be talking about anniversaries of people who have been around for a long time and have made a big impact in the world of pop culture and or entertainment today or even in the past. And also another theme that I want to introduce is people who seem that they are more than like a triple threat. So I call that theme and segment more than a triple threat, whether people want to agree or to disagree about it. So there are certain people I will be mentioning in that short series as well. and and then also going on, I have about 12 of these like ideas, and I'm not really labeling them really at all. But for the last few I like to mention is that I will also be talking about fan made videos of certain videos that people make that will make you either smile and cry, and I like to highlight on certain videos that I've seen online or either have cry to, of course. And so a lot of my favorites are like a lot of fan made videos with certain bands, or even when famous people like to surprise their fans and stuff like that. And then for the last two ideas I have is, this one's kind of a little bit savage. It's probably the only one I have that is a little bit savage, probably on my podcast, which is called Snap Your Trap. A lot of people on social media, whether they're fans or not, tend to say things that they shouldn't. So that's why it's called Snap Your Trap. And lastly, for like the last theme I have on my channel is types of fangirls, which I find very entertaining and funny, because growing up, I was probably one certain type of fangirl, and now since I've witnessed other types of people and how they fangirl about certain people today in music, I would like to go over like the types of fangirls that people tend to go crazy over. And so those are all the different ideas I have for this channel and or podcast. So I would love for you to check out all of them. But for the very first one I'm going to introduce on this channel and or podcast is of course the fall series. So we're going to start off with everything that's going to be happening right now in music, TV, and film. That's what I would like to start off with. And I will see you and you will hear me in the next episode.